A good way to upgrade your spear stat in Horizon Forbidden West is by completing the Enduring side quest. In a nutshell, you will need to defeat each of the 4 pit masters to collect their marks before being allowed to face off with the Enduring, the big boss. Once defeated, the Enduring will upgrade your spear. The melee pits aren't too hard in themselves, but the rewards for completing them are non-existent for the most part. Some of the melee pit challenge can be a bit tricky at first, but we'll give you some tips to master them. The first pit is accessible pretty early on at Chainscrape in the northeast part of the map. After talking to the pit master, you will be presented with 3 options for tutorial, practice rounds, and the one we're most interested in, the challenges, as you will have to complete all of them to be able to face the pit master. The first challenge, the Bloodbreaker, will have you break your opponent's guard by performing a specific combo. Once you see your opponent in a blocking position with his axe in front of him, that will be your chance to perform the combo. It might take a bit of trial and error to find the right pace for the combo input to be registered, as you need to leave a bit of time for the animation to play, but not too much. Normally around a 1 second interval between each input seems to be the sweet spot, but keep an eye on the animation to time yourself properly. The second challenge, Resonator Blast, will have you energize your spear by hitting your opponent to then hit it again, with a power attack to energize your opponent to then shoot an arrow to the energized target. You can take your time on this one, especially when you have energized your opponent. Don't hesitate to enter the concentration mode by pressing R3 to aim to the energized point more easily. Once those 2 challenges are completed, you will have to face the pit master. This one is pretty straightforward, no combo needed, just avoid being hit and defeat the master the way you see fit. Doing so will reward you with 1 pristine scroll. The next pit is located at Scalding Spear, north of the middle part of the map and west of Plainsong. After talking to the pit master and getting some story input, you can start the pit challenges. The first one, Warrior's Wharf, will have you street 3 combos back to back. You can take your time on this one, and between each combo, as they don't need to be combined together, but just executed one after the other. The Nohor Warrior will street 3 R1 input and 1 R2. Around a 1 second interval between each input should do the trick. Then you will have to hit the opponent with a power attack by holding R2. Once your enemy is energized, you will have to shoot the energy point, pressing R3 to concentrate and giving you time to aim properly. The second challenge, Aerial Punisher, will have you perform an aerial slash. While running towards your opponent, press R1 and then R2 to jump off your opponent, and once in the air, shoot an arrow to the energized spot. It's an easy and fast combo once you get the end of it. The trickiest part is shooting on time when in the air, but with just a bit of practice, you should be able to complete it in no time. Once the 2 challenges are completed, you will unlock the Pitmaster challenge, and all you need to do is defeat him by any means possible. Once again, no restriction here. Just defeat the Pitmaster with your favorite attacks and avoid being hit. Once defeated, you will gain the Desert Clan mark. The third pit is in the snowy mountains northwest of the map at the Bulwark. Talking to the Pitmaster, you will have 3 challenges to complete before being able to challenge him. The first one, the jump off and shoot, will have you dodge an attack to then jump off your opponent and shoot him while in the air. It is pretty straightforward to execute. After dodging an attack, you can run towards your opponent and successively press R1, then R2, and once in the air, just shoot your opponent. You can see if your dodge is successful in the top left corner of the screen, where each successful part of the combo will be counted there. The second challenge, Seek and Strike, will put you in front of 2 opponents. You'll just need to run towards the first opponent pressing R1, and then press R2, and while landing, press R2 in the direction of the second opponent. This one is more about timing. Just take your time and repeat the combo until you get it. The third challenge, Sustain Breaker, is a bit more tricky to pull off, as it requires some good timing to string them all together. Each of the 4 parts of the combo aren't too complicated in themselves. You can practice them individually to know how they animate and what to expect. Doing them all one after the other is the part that takes some practice. After doing the Block Breaker, wait for it to complete before doing the Half Moon Slash. You don't need to hold the R1 button for too long. And at that point, strike the next one immediately. To jump off your opponent, just press R2 while heading towards it. No need to press R1 another time in that case, which is confusing when reading the challenge list, as it shows you all combo inputs individually but not in a streak. And once you're in the air, just shoot the opponent. Not gonna lie, this one will take some practice to master. The easiest way we found is to check all the combo individually to know what to expect, and then just have a go at the challenge as many times as required. Once done, you can challenge the Pitmaster. Once again, defeat him and his ally the way you see fit, and avoid taking damage. You will have 2 opponents to manage this time around, so be careful, and avoiding their strikes will help defeating them both. Once defeated, you will receive the Sky Clan mark. The 4th pit can be found at Thornmarsh, in the southwest of the map on the coastline. This pit will have you complete 4 challenges before being able to face the Pitmaster. Those challenges are becoming more complicated and require some perfect timing, so practicing them individually is a good idea before trying to streak them during the challenge. The first challenge, Destroy a Chain, is straightforward. Hold R2 to charge your spear and hit your opponent. Then you can reach your opponent to chain the destroyer. Press R1 and then wait roughly a second until the tip of your spear shines. You will also feel a small rumble in your controller. Then press R1 4 times at roughly a rhythm of 1 second. And then just shoot your opponent and you're done. The second challenge, Rip and Clear, is also one that needs good timing. To pull off the spinning side, you will have to press R1 twice, at roughly 1 second interval to let the animation go. Then wait until your spear starts to press R1 twice again in a similar fashion. Here there's 2 ways to go at it. You keep holding R1 after the spinning move to perform the Half Moon Slash, or once the animation is done, you can hold R1 for roughly 2 seconds to perform the Half Moon Slash, then pushing forward and hold R2 to perform a jump over. The third challenge, the Energy Surge Chain, is similar to the previous one. Press R1 3 times at roughly 1 second interval, then wait until your spear shines to press R1 once again. You can keep it pressed to chain the Half Moon Slash, or wait and perform the slash individually after performing the Energy Surge. After the Half Moon Slash is completed, hold R2 while going towards your opponent to perform a jump off. The fourth challenge, Power Rush, is easier a bit. You will have to perform a power attack by holding R2, and then perform a Half Moon Slash by pressing and holding R1. Then you can perform the Nora Warrior by pressing R1 3 times at roughly 1 second interval, and then R2. And to finish it off, shooting your opponent will complete the challenge. After completing the 4 challenges, you will be able to fight the Pitmaster. This one is quite strong and protects himself pretty well with his shield. So being patient and waiting for the right moment to strike, as well as performing power attacks to weaken his shield, is essential. After defeating him, you will receive the Lowland clan mark. Once the last Pitmaster has been defeated, you will be able to reach the Enduring, roughly north of the map at its center point, in the mountains north of Scalding Spear. Once at the location, you can speak to the Enduring for more backstory before challenging her into a fight. This will be, of course, a tough one. She is strong, quick, and will shoot at you too. So just be patient, evade her attacks, and strike her when the opportunities arise. After defeating her, you will gain some XP and 3 skill points. And she will also upgrade your speed as a token of appreciation, improving its various damage spec by 25%. I hope that video has been useful, and stay tuned for more guide for Horizon Forbidden West. And until next time, see ya!